Hello, good morning, and welcome to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. I'm your host, Devonne, Cornelius, and thank you so much for joining me on the program for today, Friday, February 16th, 2024. It's a beautiful day, and again, thank you so much for joining me. We will be focusing or touching on the area of tourism here in St. Kitts and Nevis and some of the developments that have taken place since. We'll hear a little bit about what St. Kitts has been doing on the international and the regional stage as it relates to marketing our product. On Tuesday at the Prime Minister's press conference, the Minister with responsibility for tourism, Marsha Henderson, gave updates on what the ministry and the St. Kitts Tourism Authority have been doing to promote St. Kitts on the regional and international stage. So I'll have her remarks played now. And again, this was on Tuesday at the Prime Minister's press conference. Let's hear from Marsha Henderson.
Our efforts to increase the visibility of the St. Kitts brand. And of course, this is not meant, there's some talk about St. Kitts and Nevis, but we market two separate products. So the St. Kitts Tourism Authority is responsible for the promotion of the St. Kitts brand, and the Nevis Tourism Authority is responsible for the promotion of the Nevis brand. My updates this morning relate to the St. Kitts brand. Of course, we have a strategic plan, and it is in keeping with converting our destination from being a seasonal destination. So we have a high season from November, which is the winter season when most of our visitors come, to the end of April when it starts warming up. For us, we think we can convert, and we're actually on track to converting our destination to a year-round destination as opposed to seasonal. We've been seeing the fruits of all our efforts in terms of the robust campaign, marketing campaigns in our core markets, and our core markets, of course, are in the U.S., the northern parts of the U.S., in the Caribbean, in Canada, and of course in the U.K. We are seeing the fruits of the campaign. It means increased visibility means stimulating more demand for the destination. And so we've seen extension of service from our legacy carriers. For example, American Airlines have extended their service from April to August. So if that means eventually it would be from November to November. And this is of course to JFK. We have daily service out of Miami. But when it relates to JFK, it's seasonal, and it's from November to April. But they've seen the increase in demand for the destination, and they've extended their service to August. Similarly, the service out of to Charlotte, St. Kitts, Charlotte has been extended as well to August. So it's now from November to August. And we're working slowly to get it from November to November year-round. United Airlines as well, they've extended their service to August. So from November, we will have service. The service will not end in April, but we will go up until August. This covers periods like music festival and all the other events we have in our summer fund. So it's strategic. So it means then we would only have 2 slow months, being September and October, and then boom, back again in November. We come with the legacy carriers. So hopefully we can, get the service year-round. We've had additional flights from Winair and Inter-Caribbean, and so it shows that the campaign or marketing campaigns are resonating in the markets where they need to resonate. We now have year-round service from JetBlue, and of course we know that when there's a new flight, it takes some time to gain traction. But we are embarking on a number of initiatives to ensure that we remain visible. For example, this week we launched our car swarm, like a bee swarm and insect swarm. I'm sure a number of you would have seen the video with a number of St. Kitts branded vehicles in a highly trafficked area in New York where the demographic of our visitors live and work. So we launched the car swarm there. We Next month, and I'm saying this for the public, I intend to travel for the Roots Conference, where I would meet with international carriers, and that's all the legacy carriers that we currently have flying into the destination, and hopefully we intend to meet with other carriers. The meeting is to discuss how we have been performing on the routes, how the flights have been doing, and of course the expansion of routes and how we can work together to even add more seats. We also intend, and that's the team at the St. Kitts Tourism Authority, we intend to meet with the travel and trade media in May. And of course, that is to make sure that St. Kitts remains in the forefront of the minds of our visitors and of the different media houses, and so that we continue to remain relevant. We are satisfied with the traction of the new JetBlue flights. Of course, I can't say at this stage, I can't give the details because of the agreement we have with our partner, but we are satisfied, and we are slowly closing the gap and returning to pre-pandemic figures. When you do the comparison between now and 2019, we can see the gap being closed. And so we're happy with the work. We do have a lot more work to do. I want to, at this time, Prime Minister, allow me to just thank our hard-working and dedicated teams at the Ministry of Tourism and those at the St. Kitts Tourism Authority, and all our partners, those at SCASPER and UDC and all the other agencies who continue the work in tourism. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Minister. Certainly.
Welcome back to the Edge here on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. If you're just tuning in, you are listening to the Honorable Marsha Henderson, Minister of Tourism here in St. Kitts and Nevis, and she was providing an update on some of the developments in tourism here in our country as it relates to the Ministry of Tourism and the St. Kitts Tourism Authority, and some of the work they have been doing on the regional and international stage to market St. Kitts as a product and what we have to offer here. She made mention of the swarm cars. I'm forgetting the actual term that they used, but this was making the rounds on social media where they covered vehicles or taxis in an area in New York where the branding on the car was St. Kitts Venture Deeper. And so when you see those vehicles, you know, okay, this is St. Kitts. And it immediately pulls you. You start to think, where is St. Kitts? I want to visit St. Kitts because of what you're seeing on these vehicles, which is a wonderful marketing strategy. And again, all of this is geared towards bringing more people to St. Kitts and Nevis. It is 12 minutes past the 11 o'clock hour. Let me say again, thank you so much for joining me on the program. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll continue the conversation here on The Edge. Stay tuned.
Farm care, that's my place. For all my pharmaceuticals, for my health care. Farm care. Check them on 4th Street, they're the best I know. That's the only place to go.
And visit our Birdwalk branch at the Rams Shopping Complex for added convenience. Go online at farmcarerx.kn or facebook.com/farmcare to browse house brands such as Quality Choice and Puritan's Pride. Get health tips, learn about sales specials, and much more. Farm Care, for your wellness, comfort, and privacy.
Join us on ZIZ TV for Youth Lounge with Skenator, a talk show on vital topics such as tourism, entrepreneurship, education, religion, sex education, and mental health, featuring experts from St. Kitts and Nevis and the Caribbean region. Tune in live on the 1st and 3rd Wednesday of every month at 8:30 p.m. on ZIZ TV.
Welcome back to the Edge here on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. I'm your host, Devonne Cornelius, for today's edition, Friday, February 16, 2024. We will now open the phone lines and begin taking your calls at 465-2555 or 718-577-2916. We have any callers on the line? All right. Phone lines are open. Give us your call. We're on the topic of tourism here in St. Kitts, and the work the Tourism Authority as well as the Ministry of Tourism have been doing to promote our product. The Minister, Marsha Henderson, gave some updates on developments and what they've been doing on the regional and international stage to push St. Kitts. That was not part of the clip, but the minister also made mention of how St. Kitts continues to benefit from cruise tourism. We remember when the Icon of the Seas docked at Port Zante on January 30th, there was a lot of excitement here in St. Kitts and Nevis. We contacted the Tourism Authority and we were able to find out that the Icon of the Seas will be making another call on St. Kitts on the 27th of this month. This, of course, is in addition to the other cruise lines that continue to partner with St. Kitts. The Icon of the Seas has a passenger capacity of about 7,500 to 7,600, and on that day they brought about 4,900 plus passengers. I think it's 4,959 passengers to St. Kitts, and these people took the opportunity to, as the marketing slogans suggest, venture deeper and take advantage of the tours and different activities that are being offered. But the minister spoke to the fact that we continue to benefit from cruise tourism and encouraging other people to come on board to make our product better, to increase our product and to promote St. Kitts. You're listening to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. We want to hear from you, your thoughts and views and opinions on St. Kitts and its marketing strategy, or what we've been doing in the tourism sector. We'll take our first call for this morning. Hello, caller. Good morning and welcome to the conversation.
Yes, good morning, Devon.
Yes.
You're saying TGIF?
TGIF?
Yeah.
What was that?
Thank God it's Friday.
I should have known that.
Well, even just what you're gonna get in your hand today alone could remind you about it. You big check. Now, yeah, I'm glad that you chose this topic. But I want to say first, we have to be able to produce food and sustain the country with agriculture food, ground food, and fish, seafood. But if we're not doing that, it would not be a good thing to invite people to come to a place where they will eat the same kind of food that they live from where they come from. When they come to your country, they want to eat what we have, different to where they come from. So the agricultural system first, that they need to step up and improve for how it is going. And secondly, Devon, if you tell me, well, boy, I'm coming to St. Kitts for a cruise, and I don't have no place to stay. And I'm going to tell you, man, come, everything is good, I got a room in my house. You could come, you got a whole room, everything for you. And when you come, you cannot sleep in peace and comfortable because the amount of bed bug you got in there biting you. Devon, you ain't gonna come back. You're gonna leave before the time that you plan to spend. So we have to clean up our act here in our country before we could invite people to come here.
But you spoke
Go ahead.
about local cuisine and
Yes.
food.
Yes.
And when the tourists come here, whenever visitors come to St. Kitts and Nevis, they can't find places to enjoy our local cuisine, our local food.
Not much of it they will find. Because I have noticed that for years. I say, well, how in the world you going to go give the people them what they're accustomed to eat in their country? They want to taste what is new, different to them. So I'm saying now, our country, St. Kitts and Nevis, the two of them come together, what is it, 100 square mile? I think so. But St. Kitts is only 68, and our population is between 49 to 51,000. And crime is everywhere in the world where people reside. But for our country size and how frequent these homicides are happening, it is not good. This is only the second month, and we have 5 already. And no government could stop crime unless they put the real penalty to deal with people who commit certain kind of crime. Now, if you're going to go and shoot somebody and they're doing nothing, murder them because you have a weapon, that is not good enough.
Well, you know, Carl, I was listening to a news item the other day when the United States put out an advisory on a particular country telling their citizens not to travel there because of the crime rate. But the other side to the conversation was the fact that the homicides are, one, gang-related, and they are not happening in tourist hotspots. And so they're not happening where tourists are going to have their excursions and different activities and all of that. Most of the homicides that take place there are gang-related. I'm not trying to downplay that, yes, there are homicides, but I thought it important to mention that.
Yes, I agree with you. And let me tell you something. Some years ago, a tourist was taken in a taxi cab in a certain place, and the tourist was beaten up and robbed, and that wasn't a tourist hotspot. That was just an ordinary spot. Clear. Nobody expect those things to happen where it happened. So what I'm saying is that they need to go in Parliament and put on some harsh punishment for people who commit certain kind of vicious, merciless crime, that others who have the weapon done, thinking about that, they will throw away their weapon.
All right.
Okay? Thank you, Devonne.
Thank you so
much.
much.
Let somebody else get in.
Thank you for your contribution to the program.
Okay.
It is 11:21 and you're listening to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. The phone lines are open and we're taking your calls. Call us at 465-2555 or 718-577-2916. Today is Friday, February 16, 2024. If you are just tuning in, we are on the topic of tourism and some of the efforts being made by the Tourism Authority and the Ministry of Tourism to market the St. Kitts product, and what we've been doing on the regional and international stage, the push to get more airlines and to fill more seats coming into St. Kitts, the ongoing partnership with the cruise lines, and as I've said, tourism is our bread and butter. It is one of our main economic drivers. There are a lot of people who work in the tourism and hospitality industry. People have made their lives and have built their lives on tourism. And so investing in and ensuring that we offer the best product possible, I think, should be one of the top priorities for us here in St. Kitts and Nevis. It is 11:22. The minister said something, and this is a conversation that has been ongoing on Facebook, and I wanted to bring it here to hear from you, the listeners of this program. When she opened her comments in the opening, she spoke about the fact that there is the St. Kitts Tourism Authority, and there is the Nevis Tourism Authority. And we'll pause in the call so I could explain this. So there's the St. Kitts Tourism Authority and there's the Nevis Tourism Authority. Both authorities have different objectives and mandates when it comes to marketing their product. So the St. Kitts Tourism Authority is responsible for marketing the St. Kitts brand, the St. Kitts product, and the Nevis Tourism Authority is responsible for marketing the Nevis brand and the Nevis product. Two separate entities. I am not suggesting that they don't meet from time to time or collaborate on different ideas and projects from time to time. For obvious reasons, they'd have to. We're one country. But they're different products and different things that they sell as a tourist destination. There are going to be people who would prefer to stay in St. Kitts for their vacation. There are people who would prefer to stay in Nevis for their vacation. And so that is why the two separate entities have different marketing strategies when it comes to marketing for St. Kitts and marketing for Nevis. But the conversation that was being had on Facebook wanted to suggest that there is a deliberate attempt to exclude Nevis from the marketing efforts. And it may just be a case of people not knowing and some just wanting to bring up this conversation, which I don't like, of St. Kitts being against Nevis and Nevis being against St. Kitts, and bringing up this conversation of secession, and all of these very emotional and political conversations, right? But I don't understand why we want to make issue out of the tourism authority here only marketing for St. Kitts when we are aware of the fact that Nevis has a tourism authority. And they have their own mandate. They have their own responsibilities. There's so many other things that I think require our energy. But for some reason, we want to put our energy in the wrong direction. And so I've been following the conversation. And while people are entitled to their views and opinions, it's one that I really is giving me a hard time to understand why we want to have this conversation. And why we see the need to bring up the topic of secession and St. Kitts is trying to exclude Nevis and all of these things. We need to be educated on these topics. If it was the St. Kitts Nevis Tourism Authority and they're only marketing for St. Kitts, then we can have the conversation. Then we can say they're trying to exclude Nevis. Now, I am a Nevisian. I am a Nevis man. And I will always advocate for Nevis. But sometimes we need to pick the nonsense and pick sense out of nonsense and really do our research before we even engage in certain conversations. There's a St. Kitts Tourism Authority, there's a Nevis Tourism Authority. And these things don't require our energy. That is how I feel about it. You may have a different opinion. I want to hear your views and opinions. We'll open the phone lines. Head back to the phone lines, and take your calls. Let's take this call. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Devonne.
Hello, good morning. You're on the air.
Devonne.
Yes, go ahead. Talk to me.
I listen to all of the ministers of tourism. And everyone that have their own take on how to develop and bring tourism to our country. But I don't say something, because this one man, he gets a lot of blows. But every development that is putting down to take it for tourism.
Caller, I'm having a hard time hearing you.
You're having a hard time hearing me?
Yes, you're not coming through as clear. You're sounding better now, so keep the phone as close to you as possible.
Okay.
Yes.
What I'm saying, I listen to all the ministers of tourism, talk about tourism. Everyone has their own idea how to develop tourism. But as I said it, there's one man who makes tourism possible to think it. Is the Alphonse Kennedy Simon. He did something that nobody was thinking about to put down Fort Simon. Fort Simon could hold 3 piers, which could be already. One to go on the western side, which soon is on the day, because if we're talking about ships coming to St. Kitts and to see them, well, we don't need a big space. But let me say this. We have places in St. Kitts which could develop for tourism, but none of the tourism ministers, past and present, seen it. We want a 2 yacht to build in St. Kitts, right in back here. One down in the Fort Front down there, close to
Caller?
Yeah.
There's a lot of breaking up happening with the line. I'm really not hearing. I'm trying my best to...
You're not hearing me?
No, you're breaking up. There's a lot of feedback and static.
Okay. You're hearing me now?
Yes, that's a lot better.
Okay. What I'm saying, down there in the west part of Bastia, down by the footprint, a yacht marina could go down there, sail yacht marina. You know, if the ministers used to watch what's going on around St. Kitts in tourism, they will see that all the yachts, them sail yachts, every year after year, end up in that area. So it's showing they could develop down there and make it a yacht marina. It could build something that could hold up to 200 and something yachts, that could hire people, take a lot of young men off the street. Up in the eastern area, you could build a next yacht marina up there and continue a strip, go right up to the what you call the fisher place up there, and put down a marina. And that is for power yachts, the bigger yachts, which could hold about 100 and something yachts up there too. And you could hire people. We need to start to think bigger. Not just putting on some cars in New York. Think about St. Kitts. The market could develop into a tourist place too.
All right.
The market could get in about 17 stores down below. Check off the floor.
So let me ask you a question.
Put down some small things like how we have the ferry terminal.
Yeah, but can I ask you a question, Carla?
Yeah, go ahead.
If we put down these things here in St. Kitts and we don't tell those in the international world that they are here in St. Kitts, how are these things going to thrive? Case in point, the same cars that you hold on, the same cars that you made mention of. Hold on.
Tell them too.
Okay.
Hotel and all, you know. Okay. You got to got facilities to attract if you don't have them. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, all right.
You do?
Yeah, I'm listening to you, yeah.
Yeah, you be thinking about hotels, but we need facilities too. Just don't think about the plane and the big ship. We got to think about the small yachts and the different type of yachts. They spend money too.
All right.
And to me,
all right. We want to take
spend longer in the port than the plane.
Yeah.
And the plane passengers just to go to the hotel. But the passenger ships, they'll spend a couple of hours in the port and they're gone. But then if you see them down there all of 2 weeks, they're spending money. They're staying at the hotel, so they're going in the restaurant. They're going in the different places of interest. Because to think about different things to attract. We want a nice museum, Think it's a country that has history. Tell them about the Carinago and these people. Tell St. Kitts.
All right, caller. Thank you for your contribution to the program. Oh, Lord help me. I hear you, caller. Yes, have these facilities and these tourist attractions, right? But you're not listening to me at all. And if you don't want to listen, that's fine. But I am not objecting to St. Kitts or Nevis bringing any of those things that you just mentioned, right? But if you bring these things and you don't tell people that they're here, how are these things going to thrive? How are we going to make money from them? Going back to the same point of the same cars, it's not a case where the tourism authority just got up one morning and said, let's put on some cars at Marco and St. Kitts. It's a strategy behind of it. It's a marketing strategy. So if we're going to bring these facilities to St. Kitts and these tourist attraction sites and we don't tell people and market these attraction sites, how are they going to do well? You just made mention of educating the tourists about the Carinagos and all of these, whoever, right? We have to market these things and tell them that this is what we have to offer. This is a part of the tourism product. So so the step one, or not even in steps or any chronological order, but part of the step should be when we bring these facilities and we open these tourist attractions, we market. It's just like a hotel. When a hotel comes to St. Kitts, you think they just come and then that's it? They market vigorously. They market in the tourist hotspots or our destinations or the areas that we get the tourists from the US and the UK. Let's head back to the phone lines and we'll take this call. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Host.
Good morning.
First, let me, with your indulgence, Mr. Cornelius, look at morning devotional this morning, and from all appearance, it seemed like you who brought their devotion message. I would want to really congratulate you, and I'm happy to know that you are one who recognizes the Creator and are willing to let the message go out.
Thank
Mr. Cornelius, you there?
Yes, I'm listening. Thank you for that.
Okay. Well, it's you then. All right. I am happy. And it's never a time like we need men like you, intelligent men who recognize the Creator. Because, Mr. Cornelius, Brother Cornelius, just this week, there were disturbing, really, developments in regards to Russia.
Not to cut you off, caller, right? But we're focusing on tourism in St. Kitts and Nevis. We don't want to stray too much.
Okay,
Do you have a contribution to make?
I'm not straying. As I said already, I crave your indulgence.
Yes, but do you have a contribution to make as it relates to the topic for today?
Well, if I'm going to make a contribution, let me divert. I would like really to take some of the developments in regards to tourism out of Bastia and Frigate Bay. And right down here we have a service here, the boat yard, where already it's been attracted quite a number of same yachts. And I would like to really see a marina. I understand the developer wanted to even go further to develop a pier, a cruise pier there. So, focusing on Bastia and Frigate, I feel like we should diversify and look at the rural area, where I am here, down here at Harpage in New Guinea, and develop it so that people in the rural area could really have an opportunity to really become entrepreneurs and develop themselves. So this is my contribution. Yet the infrastructure is done there. When you see hurricane is coming, is approaching here, you should see the amount of yachts heading for down here. And already, they're done, as you said, I mean, you need advertising. Well, we don't have advertisement here. So I would want Mr. Reginald Francis to get assistance to really undertake some kind of development like that for the rural area. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Carla, for your contribution. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll continue the conversation here on The Edge for Friday, February 16, 2024. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Entertaining the nation, enjoyed by the world. From the heart of ZIZ Radio comes a political talk show like no other. The Edge, with host Devonne Cornelius giving you his take on the biggest stories happening in governance today. Got something to say? Let's hear it. Give us a call at 869-465-2555, Monday to Friday from 11 a.m. to 12 noon. One solid hour of in-depth analysis of the machinery that makes our country tick. The Edge, cutting into the matters at hand.
Reach for DPH Cough and Cold for all your cold and flu symptoms, relief, rest, and ready again. Also available in children's formulation.
Welcome back to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. I'm your host, Devonne Cornelius. The phone lines are open, and we are welcoming your calls at 465-2555 or 718-577-2916. Just about 20 minutes left before we end the conversation for today, and ready ourselves for the ZIZ midday newscast. We'll head back to the phone lines, and we'll take some more calls. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Good morning.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Cornelius, and a blessed day to all. You're speaking about tourism, and I want to first commend Minister Marcia Henderson for what she's doing. Now, we know that we shouldn't put all of our eggs in one basket.
Yes.
And we need to diversify and what have you. But in the meantime, while we have this product, we need to enhance it. And a caller spoke about the linkages with agriculture. That is very important. So to get as much as possible out of it while the going is good. Now, a few days ago, some time ago, you were speaking about one of the things that came up was about the beaches and cleaning up the beaches and what have you.
Yes.
Well, first I would say that I can't imagine that any administration would put a fee to the local people to clean up the beach. because just as that was something that was addressed years ago, and we don't want to go back to the bad old days. But what I would say, though, and of course, beaches, we need to keep ourselves clean all around us. I remember as a child at the girls' school, Bastille Girls' School, and also at the Bastille High School, Girls' High School, we had to clean up our own areas, whether in our classrooms or in the girls' school. We had to, as young children, clean up the yard around with those that sort of broom that comes from, I think it's the coconut tree, one of those trees there. We had to do it ourselves, but it seemed as though when we were poor, we were cleaner, and now we are more affluent. We want others to do everything. So we need to also help ourselves. But what I would say about cleaning the beach, the government doesn't have to spend a cent more than what it does right now. We have the STEP program, and we have this, the Peace or Elevate program. Some of those persons on a regular rotating basis can be used to clean up the beaches. You don't have to spend any money, for one, any personal funds. Let those persons do it once a week, once every 2 weeks, however they organize it. But that's a case of organizing. Separately, something was said about the infrastructure, the roads. Well, we just have to organize the CBI that we're getting now to pave some of those roads. That is something totally different. But certainly, we want the beaches to be accessible to everybody, free access that was fought hard for. Just as we have free primary education, free, certain benefits for older people and certain people at the hospitals in health, we need to have socially speaking, our beaches free access for that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Carla, so much for your contribution to the program. That's a very good suggestion, using those existing programs to assist with keeping our beaches clean. I remember when I had the conversation and I made mention of the fact that there are groups and organizations in St. Kitts and Nevis that have been doing beach cleanups for quite some time. Almost every week or every month you hear of some organization going out there to do a beach cleanup. But having these existing programs, or the participants or members of these programs join in the effort, would definitely help to keep our beaches clean. After all, as a Caribbean island, sand and the sea is what we also offer as part of our tourism product. It is 11:46. You're listening to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. Thank you so much for your contribution to the program. If you're just tuning in, we are on the topic of tourism and what the ministry and authority have been doing to promote St. Kitts on the regional stage as well as the international stage. We'll take your calls at 465-2555. Let's head back to the phone lines and we'll take this call. Hello, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Devonne.
Good morning. Welcome to the program.
I hold a slightly different view. Sure, we can use existing organizations to help with beach cleanup, but the thing is, our beaches require more than just the occasional cleaning up. Okay? They need to be enhanced, totally enhanced. One of the things that we suffer from, for instance, whenever we have high seas, I'm sure you've seen pictures of the ocean in Nevis.
Yes.
Right. We have those kinds of things. And so they need protection outside, breakwaters and so on, to prevent that from happening. You don't want your beach to disappear overnight. That's your bread and butter. It's the bread and butter for a lot of people. Okay? And now to do that requires more than just the occasional cleaning up and just token funds.
So this is where we start to have the conversation with, environmental specialists, etc.
Well, we need marine specialists.
Yes.
We need
marine specialists. Sorry, that's it.
Yeah. Because, like I said, it requires more than just the occasional input from both the government and the population. Now, the population, sure, it would be nice if everybody went with their own trash and took an interest in environmental matters. But the hard fact is that a lot of people don't, right? And so in those kinds of circumstances, we absolutely need a comprehensive program to make sure that the environment, including our beaches, are kept clean. And it's just like how we do any other industry. Any major industry requires some kind of input to make sure that it works properly. Otherwise, it basically fails, right? And so we should treat our beaches the same way. And like I know it was controversial, that's why it's there. Nothing is wrong with paying some token amount to help in that regard. You know, just stop this emotional thing about, well, it's always been free. You know, that does not help the situation, right? So if it was always free, should it remain free, bearing in mind that conditions have changed? Right? That is what I was getting at. Okay?
All right. Caller, thank you thank you for your contribution to the program. You're listening to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. Do we have any more callers on the line? We don't. But you can call us at 465-2555 or 718-577-2916. You're listening to The Edge for Friday, February 16th, 2024. We have about 10 minutes before we wrap up the conversation for today. If you're just tuning in, we are on the topic of all things tourism. Basically on the topic of tourism and what we've been doing here to market our tourism product. But a very good observation made by the caller. There was a video making the rounds on social media with beach erosion in Nevis, and the conversation, this is where we include now the marine specialists as to how we can protect our beaches. Still, yes, cleaning the beaches and keeping them clean must always remain a part of what we do to maintain the beaches. We'll head back to the phone lines and we'll be taking some more calls. Caller, you're on the air.
Yeah, Devonne.
Good morning.
Yeah, I have two suggestions of attraction to excite tourists when they come here to come back. Number one, I think over Frigate Bay, from up on Timothy Hill, down on the strip, they can make a tramway.
A tramway?
Yeah. It's something like some chairs. They do not run on the ground. They are hooked on wires. So you go up on the top of Timothy Hill, and they would have an office up there and a landing spot. And you pay, you go in the chair, and the chair bring you all the way down on the strip on wire. Okay. There is one in St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands. And the second attraction, with all the sports that go down Port Zante to dance and demonstrate what we have here. I spoke about the actors from Monkey Hill that act over a fork. Because nowhere in the Caribbean and the world they have actors jumping over a fork but St. Kitts.
You know that for a fact?
Definitely.
Okay.
And a lot of them will be amazed to see how people can act over a fork with the blade sticking up to the sky. So those are my two attractions that I think they should invent a place here to attract tourists. Thank you very much, Devon.
And thank you so much for your contribution to the program. You're listening to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. The phones are open and we're taking your calls. Call us at 465-2555 or 718-577-2916. It is 11:53. We end the conversation at noon for the ZIZ Midday Newscast. If you're just tuning in, we're on the topic of tourism and what we've been doing here in St. Kitts and Nevis to market our tourism product. It is the end of another week. I feel like February is going really, really fast, and January took like 4 months to end. But we're already in the second week of February, and next month is month end. February is going really fast. Let me use this opportunity to say thank you so much for your calls, your contribution to the program. Your contribution is well appreciated, and the suggestions that you made as to what we can do to market our product as a tourist destination, definitely those suggestions are welcomed. And I think conversations like these are very important so that we can exchange very meaningful ideas and have informative discussions so that we can educate ourselves on what is happening in and around St. Kitts and Nevis. I want to say to those of you who had a hard week, if it was difficult for you, I just want to give you a word of encouragement to keep trying and keep pushing and do your very best. Just this week we were having the conversation about mental wellness and mental health. And if you are somebody out there and you are struggling with whatever issue, I'm using this platform to encourage you to try and get help. Find a safe space or a safe room. When I say a safe space or a safe room, I'm referring to somebody or people who you can talk to so that they can help you. Or if you know of somebody who is in need of help, help them. Don't wait until it is too late to start to help or to have that conversation. For some, it's the end of the work week. For others, you have to work tomorrow. But whatever it is, just give thanks and give thanks for life. Don't drink and drive. Don't text and drive. Pedestrians, please be mindful of the other road users. Take your time on the road. And you guys have a fantastic Friday. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I've been your host for The Edge here on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. See you on Monday, God Spare Life, at 11 a.m. for an all-new edition. I'll have a very special guest joining me on the program. The Minister with responsibility for Youth Empowerment and Social Development, the Honorable Iseline Phillip, will be joining me on The Edge on Monday. Until next time, you guys stay safe. Have a good one. Bye-bye.